Okay, well, let's get started. So thank you everybody for joining me again for Studio Tuesday. And today we are going to cut snowflakes, and it's kind of like going back into elementary school because, I mean, didn't we do that in elementary school? You'd cut snowflakes and they'd kind of look square, which is pretty normal, like kids' snowflakes, kind of square. So I've been experimenting and trying things out. I tried this one, it didn't quite get to six-sided, but it's interesting, right? Even if it's not perfectly six-sided, this is probably more like a true snowflake because they're not perfect, right? So anyway, but since then I've been practicing quite a bit, and yeah, I love this one. I tried it tonight. This one's not bad, but I've got quite a few that I've tried, and just doing the six-sided snowflake can be quite nice. So the paper that we're going to use tonight, I know you were trying some different things. Brenda's trying some parchment paper because she found sheets of parchment paper that were 6 inches. So she's going to try that. This is deli paper, and it's kind of like, you know, when you go to the deli and they put your meat on a paper. This is sort of what it is. Anyway, a lot of artists know what this is because they use it in maybe collage or things like that. So there's deli paper you can use. There's also photocopier paper works too. It's just thicker and it's harder to cut. You can use also things like origami paper if you can find it. And I should have told you last week, but Michael's does not sell origami paper, so you have to find it somewhere else. I think we do have a link to some origami paper. You might need to change the link because I think the link you sent them to is like 500 sheets of.
You never have enough origami paper.
Yes, you can. Oh. Anyway, so you can also use origami paper. I mean, some of the patterns are kind of interesting, but you can even not worry about the pattern. And so white can be just very beautiful. And I was in the frame shop, and we have brown paper that we wrap the packages in, or the frames when people are done. And so I took some of that paper and I was making snowflakes, just trying it out. And I left them on the table, and lo and behold, they ended up on the Michael's tree. So anyways, they have all these brown snowflakes on their tree. They probably have no idea that I did them. So anyway, so we're going to play with folding. I'm going to show you how to fold the paper without measuring, how you can get a 6-pointed star, because that, or 6-pointed snowflake, because that's just, it looks so much nicer. So we're going to switch so that you can see my hands. And I'm going to do some simple folding with you.
How big is that piece of paper?
This is a 6-inch piece of paper, 6 by 6. I don't know what I did with my pencil, so I'll grab another one.
This one?
That one over there, yes. All right, so what I'm doing with this 6-inch piece of paper is, first of all, I'm folding it in half so that I have a nice triangle, okay? And that's just the beginning of how you want to get started with this. Now the next part, and I'm going to use a pencil just to help show you where I'm at with each of these, because we're going to do a whole bunch of marks on here to create the correct dimensions for the 6-pointed star. So the next thing you want to do is you want to fold it in half. So I'm just going to put those points together, but I'm not going to completely fold it. I'm just going to crease this little corner here, and then I'm going to mark it with a pencil so that you can see where that mark is. Maybe I should put my glasses on. That would be a good idea. Okay. Anyway, so that all I'm doing is making a little mark right in the center of that triangle. Okay. And then from there, now I'm going to take this side and I'm going to point it right at this corner and against that mark that I did. I'm not folding it. I'm just going to mark this corner now. Okay. So now I'm going to mark that. I have the center mark that I made, and now this mark over there. How you guys doing?
Good.
Okay, now what I want you to do is take this corner and you're going to point it right at that little spot, that second mark that you made. And you're only going to tag this top edge right there.
Would you start from the beginning on that one?
So you take this corner and point it at that second mark that we made, and then just straighten it so that you can mark this little edge here. Okay, and I'm going to mark that. So those are the spots you have marked on your triangle. Okay. Now what you're going to do next is you're going to crease between this first point and the third point. So I'm going to draw a line so you can see what I'm doing here. I don't have a ruler, so I'm just going to use a piece of paper. So basically I'm going to do a fold between those 2 points right on that line. I gotta lift mine up so I can see where my other point is. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we want to make it as close as we can. So now it's like that. Is that working?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Once you have that, then you should be able to take the other one and fold against that other line, fold it backwards the other way. And you can use your other folds to make sure it all lines up. So it's kind of like a, I don't even know, what do you call that?
Flower.
So yeah, so it ends up like that. Yeah, it's kind of like a flower of some sort. It should be same on both sides. Or fairly same. Okay. Once you've done that, you're going to take the whole thing and fold it in half. And it doesn't matter which way you fold it. You're just going to fold it one way in half. And now it's like an arrow. Okay, you got it?
Mine does not look like yours.
Why not? Let me see what you got.
Well, this is, can you see it?
No. Move it over a little bit. Move it to your left a bit. There you go. Bring it down. Okay, I think you went too far because you want to get it to this point.
I didn't seem to have all the lines on there that you would put on.
Okay.
So I think from the start I was wrong.
Do you want me to do it really quickly again?
Please.
Okay. So I'm going to fold it. First, I'm folding it in half.
Yes.
And then I'm going to fold it in half again. But I'm just going to mark this little point down on the bottom edge. Okay. So right there.
Oh, okay.
That's where I want that first. That's the first mark. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then I'm going to take this, I guess it's the left-hand corner, point it right at the top of the triangle and fold it along that first marked line. But I'm just tagging this edge here, this upper edge here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's the other spot. Then I'm going to take this right-hand corner and I'm going to point it to that second mark that I made. I'm just going to point it there and make a mark over here.
Just a sec. Okay, point it there. And where do I make the mark?
Across. Just go straight across onto the right-hand side, and you're going to make that little mark right up there.
Okay.
That's right there. Okay. And then what you need to do is fold along these two lines. So I'm going to draw this. You're going to fold along this. So you want one corner here and one corner here. And you're just going to fold from that point to this other little mark here. And so it should like just make this weird little cross part. Okay.
Okay.
Once you have that, then you take this other piece that's sitting out and you fold it backwards all along the lines. So along this line, this edge, and this edge. So you should end up with the, I want to call it a tulip, but I don't know if it really is a tulip. But how's that? Did that work?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'll.
Let me see where you're at. You're very close. I think you're going too straight up. It's your second one. It's your second, the one that you're folding behind.
Yes.
I think you need to follow that other line on this edge. I think you're going down too far. I think you're trying to go straight across with it. So you want to go up this edge here.
Does that look more like it then?
Just a minute. I gotta wait for Bill to move his stuff. He's doing stuff. Let me see. Move it to, that's closer. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So they're both kind of pointing up. And you know, after you folded like 99 of them, it'll be really easy. That's my art teacher used to say. Okay, so once you have it sort of like this, that's when you fold it all in half. And you end up with the arrow. Leslie's coming in, so I'm going to have to show her how to do this because I don't think she learned how to do this fold before. All right, so once you have this, I want you to turn it over and you'll see you have a straight part somewhere on it. You have your two pointy parts, and then on the other side, there should be a straight part. See that? That's when you get your scissors. And I want you to cut off those pointy parts. So then all you have is that, just an ice cream cone. See, and mine's not perfect either. It's overlapping a little bit here, so it's okay. Leslie's will be perfect. Once she gets sitting down, she's wandering around her house again. We get a tour of Leslie's house. So, okay, once you have this, now I don't know if you guys were able to go into the, into my resources. I had all these snowflake patterns that I made available for you guys to have a look at. And so what these are is just ideas for you cutting out. So any of the black parts are what you want to keep and the white parts are what you cut off. So I find it actually a little bit better to sort of copy, to draw this on first, then I don't get lost in my cutting and stuff like that. So I'm going to just draw a pattern in here that's really close to something that's on this card.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Am I drawing it on the side with the fold, like the one big fold, or the side that opens? Where are you drawing it?
I don't know where if it matters, but I try to put the side that doesn't have any openings. I try to make that sort of like my seam, and I always keep that, I guess, on my left side so that when I'm cutting.
That works. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know if that has to be that way. I mean, I guess I could try a couple of cuts and see what works, right?
It doesn't make any difference, Karen.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, so I've just drawn a pattern here, and then I'm going to use my scissors just to cut it. Of course, the best cutting part of your scissors is the back part of your scissors, not the tips. If you wanted to be super precise, you could try using a knife, like a cutting knife and a cutting board, but I'm not going to do that because you just have to have a good hold on your paper while you're doing this so that it doesn't start to sort of move while you're cutting it because you're cutting so many layers. But it will sometimes, but that's okay because snowflakes are not 100% perfect.
Does it matter what color origami paper we use?
No, because you could either use the colored side as your good side, or you could use the white side, right? So
Okay.
I don't think it really matters. Because like even like, you know, I have this one here. This is quite pretty with the purple, but the other side's white. So if I wanted to make a white snowflake, I could do that too.
Okay. So do you want to give me a quick tutorial on how to fold?
Yes, we're gonna fold another one. Don't you worry. We're gonna do it a few times.
Okay, I'll pick a color then.
Yeah, you pick something. I'm just gonna cut this one. Whew. I'm always just so interested to see how the patterns are going to turn out. And I mean, you can find lots of these patterns. They're all over Pinterest. And that's probably where I got these ones from. And then I just drew them onto this sheet. So
Are you cutting along both the edges?
yes, I'm cutting both the edges. But I am leaving little bits of edges that, you know, that are still folded, right? Because you want it to sort of stick together still. All right. Okay, I've just done my last little cut. And then you just have to be careful unfolding it. And it's like, to me, it's kind of like, it's exciting to see what it's going to do. So that one turned out quite nice. So that was me copying this pattern here. So it came out like that. Get a book. So that's quite nice, eh? I like that. All right, I'm going to fold another one. If you want to get into the folding.
Okay.
Okay, so first you fold corner to corner.
Does it matter if they're inside out?
Nope, it doesn't. In fact, it's probably easier if you have the pattern on the inside. It doesn't really, because then you can, sometimes it's hard to see your measuring points if your color's facing you. Okay, once you do that, then you're just going to do a quick fold side to side, but you're only going to mark this middle point. Okay, I'm going to mark it with a pencil so you can see it. That's my middle point. Okay, then I'm going to take that left corner, the left point, and point it to the top of my triangle and along that line that I just did, but I'm not going to fold the whole thing. I'm just going to make another little marking point. So right here. Leslie got up. I have to wait until she's back.
I needed a real pencil. So there we go. So I can't fold it up there. We're just marking.
You're just marking. You're just going to put it to the point and you're going to mark this spot right here.
At the very tippy top.
Yeah,
No.
go to the tippy top. You're just marking halfway through. Okay. You're really just getting a halfway point between the top and the bottom. Okay. And then you're going to take this right corner And you're going to,
I am not jetting. Oh. Is that, I think my brain just didn't compute that. Okay.
are you caught up?
Boy, got it.
Okay. So now you're going to take this right corner and you're going to point to that second point. Just point it at there. And then you're going to make a marking point right here on this spot.
Oh my God, too many
Yep.
points.
No, there's only 3 points. I'm pointing at this second one that I did right there. And I'm creating a mark right here. Okay. So now I have that. Right. And
Okay.
they're not equal, and that's okay.
Okay.
This is the center point. This is a center point. This is not.
Okay.
Okay. Now what
Got
you're
it.
going to do is you're going to fold between this center point and the point that's not a center point.
Okay.
You're going to fold from that center to that little marker there. Now you can do this also by using a protractor and getting a 30-degree angle. But why would you do that if you can just fold it? It's much easier. Anyway, once you have it this way, then you're going to take this and fold it behind along this line. Just like that.
Would you go over that last step again?
So once I've got this pointing where I want it,
Yes.
now I'm going to take this one and fold it along that line and along this other line. Okay, mine's a little bit off. I don't know what I did. It's okay. 99 and we'll have it all perfect.
Karen, there's actually an easier way to do this.
Is there?
Yes.
How is that?
I've been doing them since I was 5.
Okay.
Let me just cut one of mine square here. So this is the way I learned to do it. When
Okay,
I was
I can
little.
set mine down and I'm going to learn how
Okay.
you do it.
So this is bigger. This is 8 inches,
That's okay.
but same thing. So
Yeah.
you fold it corner to corner,
Yeah.
okay, and then you fold it corner to corner again, and you're going to crease that. I have to put it down to crease it because I don't have a nice hand camera like you do.
Okay, so she's going corner to corner.
Yeah.
Like this.
She should be co-spotlighted here. Is she for you guys?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and corner
Okay.
to corner this way. Okay. So
So
now you
we
have a
got
square.
it folded twice.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're going to fold this corner over so that these two sections look about the same size, but don't crease it yet. Okay, so this line here should be halfway between the
Halfway?
two edges.
Or halfway between their
Yeah.
two edges.
Yeah, halfway between the two edges. Yeah.
This is where you're sort of estimating, right?
Yeah, you're kind of estimating because now you're going to fold this one over. So you're rolling it like an ice cream cone. And then you're going to line up those edges. And once you get them all lined up, then you just crease them.
Oh, I see. You're sort of,
I think this is what we did when we did them the last time.
I think
Karen.
so. I think we were playing around with sort of just trying to make them match the
Yeah.
edges, and you kind of push them each together until you get this.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the
that-
trick was that
I don't know.
sometimes
You
you
know,
folded
it's not
something-
mathematical, but to me it's easier.
Is it easier? Okay. I'm from a background of origami, so I'm always
Oh.
I'm used to measuring. So
Right.
when I saw
Right.
the way
Right.
of doing it where you're measuring, that's that was like, oh, well, that just makes sense to me. Because of course there would be origami folds that would work perfectly for it, but
Right.
because this is not,
I
as
was
I'm
just-
doing it.
I
Yeah,
was just thinking for some of the ladies that were having trouble with
Yeah.
that might be a little easier.
it might be easier. I'm having trouble with it.
Oh, oops.
Okay, so once we get to this lovely little guy, which is Karen's measury one, what do we do next?
You're going to fold it in half.
Okay,
So
the
my
whole
measuring one-
thing?
The whole thing in half. And then you're going to get, you have one side that has a flat and the other side has pointies.
So if I'm folding it in half this
Yep.
way,
Sure, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
all right,
I'm still working on this other one. Can't quite get this to be exact.
a ruler would help.
A ruler.
Yeah, just to have a flat, straight edge to set between things, set to a line and fold up over.
Yeah, you can also use like a folding bone, but I don't know if you need those folds to be that permanent. I would use,
No, but I
I
just,
was doing
I'm
origami. I
folding
would
it
use.
in.
So
I
once
want
you
it to
have,
be clean.
Elizabeth, once you have your piece like this that you showed us, is that,
Yeah.
and you just cut that?
Now you just, you cut off all the, uneven
tips.
edges and just cut it like your snowflake.
Okay, that's cool. So we have the two examples that we're working with right now. So
Okay.
with mine, you have a straight line that you just cut off those tips. And with this one, you just pick a spot and cut across. All right. Guess what I'm going to do? I am not saving all these little bits of paper. I'm going to recycle them. Just so you know.
Good
So
for you, Karen. Good for
When I cut off
recycling.
my thing, I don't think I cut it off low enough because so you cut it across, you got to come down to the lowest.
Yeah,
Like
sort
that.
of.
So that when you open it up, you don't have any weird little, okay.
Okay,
We'll
and
find
then-
out.
Well, and then, pick a design and try something out, I guess. Has anybody made a snowflake while we're sitting here? Joyce, have you
Yes, I
got one
made-
done?
I
I
made
thought
four.
my first one I made,
That's cute.
just sort of
Oh, Elizabeth, wow.
round.
And then
That's
made
amazing.
a little one.
You made a little one? Wow. Okay, well. Brenda, have you got one? Oh, that's nice. There you go.
Mine is not, my folding didn't come out nice and aligned. So my little snowflake is going to be weird.
That's okay. Weird ones are happy too. I know you want them perfect, but
Kind of want it equidistant, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Well, a little.
so the
Or-
more you cut out of your shape, the more delicate your snowflake ends up being, I guess.
Well, I'm just going to do a rough one this first time, just because it became a little, no, I think I want that to come further. I think this is going to be wonky, but that's okay.
We don't mind wonky. I don't mind wonky. You might mind wonky.
This may be really wonky. We'll find out. Because I'm going to try to fold the other way next and see if it just comes a little more balanced.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut out the other one that I did. And see how that did. Okay, so there's one. All right. I'm just going to cut this one now. I got to find the pattern I want to try. Well, my patterns are a little different than how I have them drawn, but
It's okay. Everyone's different in nature, they say.
that's right.
I don't know how they know that because they would have to look at every single snowflake.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's a lot.
But it's a nice idea.
It is a nice idea. I love how when you're clipping them off, sometimes they just go flying. Little bits of paper can just go flying all over the place. It's like fly and be free.
I have an aunt who married a man with the last name of Snow.
Yeah.
And they do this every year. She gets together. She's like 87 years old. She gets together with all her posterity at 8, which is, prodigious.
Yeah.
And they make snowflakes and just cover their house in snowflakes every
That's
year at
lovely.
the beginning of September. That's
That's
their snow day, they call it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Always made me wish I was a snow too.
All right, I'm gonna do my big reveal of my two different ways of folding. Okay, here's my calculated way. I'm frozen, Bill. Oh, there we go.
Well, that's what happens when you handle snowflakes for half an
Yes, I
hour.
get frozen. All right, so here's the one that I did with my fold. Okay. And here's one that I did with Elizabeth's fold. I can open it. So they both work.
Yay.
They're
Right.
lovely.
For the first one, I haven't done the second one yet, but as you can
Oh,
see,
that
this
looks good.
Yeah, that
this
looks really
point
good.
is narrow. This is mid-size, and this is very wide. And
Yeah.
it had to do with, I got two that are narrow. They're almost kind of progressive. One's really narrow, one's really wide, and then these two are, yeah. Two of 6
that-
points.
It happens because of all the
identical.
folds that you're
Yeah.
cutting through.
Yeah.
I
They do
know.
Sort of change a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Thinner
I like
paper.
it. I like the way it came out.
Yeah. So thinner paper
Try
would
another
be
one.
easier to cut. So one of the things that I do quite often is when of course, I tell you this all the time, is I like to put things in my sketchbook. So one of the things we did when we were in the class, and Leslie did this with us, where I had the kids make several of these out of the deli paper. And one of the ones we put them in little bags with a bit of dye, and they had to scrunch it all together. And then, so they had a dyed snowflake. And so we put them in the books. So what I did, first of all, is I put just a white one in my book, and it's hard for you guys to see because I've got Mod Podge over it, but it leaves this beautiful sort of embossed sort of look on your page or whatever. Oh, maybe you can see it. You can see it better there, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So it's kind of pretty. It's just nice to have it there. But this is what the dyed one did. I used sort of like this look at this snowflake. Like this.
Oh,
this
yeah, and
weird
that's one of
fold
those.
is one of those weird folds, but I love it. It's just because it's just not perfect, right? And these two are so close together. I mean, that's just, to me, that's like a real snowflake, right? You would see that. And then of course, as we put the Mod Podge on, oh, there's Leslie's.
That's my dyed. And I think
Yeah.
it had a wonky fold too.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
yeah, because you have the double one too. So we must be
Yeah.
folding them together and we hadn't quite figured it out yet. But I love the way that the Mod Podge actually moved the die and just made it really sort of interesting. It was very messy, but lovely. So, I mean, that's just another example of taking something that you're working on and applying it into your sketchbook so that you have a record of what you've done. And I wish I could replicate how we folded this, because I kind of like it off like that. Like, I think it's interesting. Anyway, so next week we're going to talk about sketchbooks. So anyway, so
Okay, I got a quick question about folding the other way. So you fold in half and you fold in half again. So you got a triangle. I have this,
Yeah,
and now I fold one side one way and the other side the other way, or am I not there yet?
you're folding, you fold them in both the same direction. So, but you
Oh,
fold
and I
the
do
one
both
side,
flat.
you fold the one side over, so it's about 1/3. Let me hold that a little
Got it.
closer.
I know what you mean. Now I
Right?
know what you mean.
So both of these sections look equal distance apart, and
Got
then
it.
you fold the other side over top.
The other direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that makes your little arrow.
So roughly this way. And hold it roughly this way. That's
And then-
tricky to hold.
Once you get them, more or less, you can sort of adjust them so that before you flatten your folds down,
Got it. I am going to use a real ruler if I can find one.
well, you can use a ruler and a protractor if you wanted, because it would be the 30%. Is that Brenda's? Brenda's just sent us a picture of the pieces that she's done. They're lovely.
Ooh.
So what you can do is, I'm going to take one of these origami paper ones that I have, and it's very pink on this side, but I'm going to turn it over because I can still sort of see the pink. And I'm going to use some gloss gel just to put it in my sketchbook. I broke my handmade. My handmade paintbrushes needs a little bit more glue. Oh, wow. So I'm just going to paste that in. So I'm putting gloss gel just down on my book, and then I'm going to put gloss gel over top of my snowflake. And that's going to seal it to my page. And then I can go back and work into this if I want with, pencil crayon or something like that. Because of course the pencil crayon is going to hit any pieces that are raised up and stuff. So Brenda was using parchment paper for her snowflakes, and they turned out quite nice. They're very much like my deli paper, a little bit see-through and quite lovely. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can see Brenda, but she's holding them up a little bit. So I think she found that. Where did you find that parchment paper? I think it was at this grocery store. It was like 99 cents for like.
At the dollar store.
Oh yeah, I saw it at the dollar store too. But I mean, you can get it on the roll.
This stuff is a lot.
The grocery store as well.
This is a lot thinner than the stuff on the roll.
Yeah.
This would almost be like deli paper, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
I find the origami paper almost a little slick, like slippery. It doesn't And maybe because it's a little bit thicker,
Maybe.
it makes it a little interesting to fold.
Yeah, well, and the same with if you were using copier paper and stuff. And I think Joyce, you were using copier paper, so it's a little bit harder
Yes,
to
it is.
cut through those, right? Because it's the thicker layers. So one of the things, the other thing that we did in our class when we were doing the snowflakes is I wanted to create like a piece of art out of it and show how you can take something like this and just create something that's more like art. And so although I like putting it in my sketchbook, I like doing other stuff with it too. So I have these boards. These are just pieces of MDF. They're quite thick, but they make a really great surface for doing a lot of like my collage work and stuff like that. I do that on these because I can put all sorts of really heavy stuff on there and it doesn't really do much. But if you're working with a board like this, you need to gesso it first. And that's like just preparing the surface. And I use I'm using Liquitex gesso, which I probably won't do in front of you tonight, but just giving it a good surface of gesso. And if you're going to gesso one side, you might as well gesso the other side. Probably doesn't make much of a difference on a big, thick board like this. But if you're working with a thinner board, I'm just going to grab one here. Like this one's a thinner board. And I've only gessoed one side, but sometimes they'll start to warp. And sort of the trade secret between, when you're doing interior design and stuff like that, and you're designing cabinets, whatever you do on one surface, you need to do something similar on the other side so that the board doesn't warp. So if I was going to do this, start the artwork, I would gesso this side too, just so that I have it quite nice and flat. Okay. But tonight I'm just going to use these little canvases that I talked to you guys about. This is just from Michael's, right? Like that little 6x8" canvas. They are pre-gessoed, so I don't really need to gesso it. I'm just going to put a bunch of paint on it anyway. I know some artists, when they get gessoed canvases and stuff like that from a place like Michael's or pre-gessoed canvases, they will gesso them again anyway, just because sometimes this gesso is a little bit water repellent, but I don't care. Just put more paint on it. So anyway, I got some of my paints. I have my other handmade paintbrush here. And so all I'm really going to do right now is I'm just going to add like paint to this canvas because I want to get it sort of just colorful. And I should have painted one before tonight so that I could have one that was dry. So I quite often will mix my paints right on my canvas because that's how I paint. And I'm just really creating a background, and I'm just adding some of my favorite colors like purple. And sometimes I just like the way it meshes with things like orange or yellow, because it creates these really interesting sort of marks. And purple's a little bit Christmassy. At Michael's, they've given us all these craft supplies in our break room, and we're supposed to be making decorations and cards to show our creativity. And it's like, yeah, everybody's, doing the same thing except for me. Mine are all kind of weird and abstract. They're like, oh, there's another one of Karen's. Anyway, so there's my base. I'm just going to let it sit for a few minutes and let it sort of do a thing. Maybe I'll fold another snowflake while I'm waiting. Just let it dry for a few minutes. So you could do something like that. What I wanted to show you is I'm going to show you what I actually did these with my sister when she was visiting. And we took the deli paper and we applied them to these boards. And so we just did like the base painting. And then I took the deli paper and I applied it on there with my gloss gel or Mod Podge, whatever you have. And then the only other thing I did on top of these was, for these ones, I have a little bit of silver, and I did sort of like a dry brush, sort of rubbing the silver on it just to give it a kiss of glimmer to it. And then I blacked the edges, I blacked the back, and they're ready for me to, you know, I could hang them up and they could be a Christmas decoration.
A big Christmas tree.
Yeah, it's not for on a tree. Unless you have a really big tree. It looks like Leslie's saying something, but I can't hear her.
I forgot I'm on mute. I'm liking my snowflake.
Okay, I want to see it.
Shape's starting to come out.
Yeah.
Try to flatten it. I did the second fold and it seemed to be a little more cooperative. Pretty. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
Oh, that looks really good.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, I am too. I love that circle in the middle. Looks great.
I sort of worked with the very first top left image
Yeah.
and then simplified it a little bit so it was chunkier.
Oh, yeah. I see.
I used tan paper because I figured it wouldn't be too dark to flip it to the white side.
That's right.
Yeah, I got one that I like.
That's great. That's great. All right. Well, I think I really like this one. I know my board's not quite dry yet. So if I do this, I'm going to pull some of my paint onto the piece. I really want to do that. I've already done that. Do I have a painted one? I don't think I do. Should have painted it before I came. It's me blowing.
I love that pot of yellow paint.
I know. With all the colors in it.
Oh, so yummy.
Yeah. I know. I love the pots of paint. They're just, that's what I use. Okay, I'm just going to go and see what happens. I'm going to probably drag some of my color across this, but I'm just too excited to wait. So I'm just going to put some of my gloss gel down. I probably don't need lots because my paint's still wet. I'm going to choose this one that has the it's made out of origami paper, but I love the design of it. It just worked out so fine for me. I'm just going to set it on here. I'm going to get purple all over it, but that's okay. You know what? It might actually kind of be cool to have a little bit of that purple. Sort of, the glass gel is going to do like a glaze on it because it's so bright right now. It's too bright. So here I go. So it's kind of glued down there. Boy, it's just like a little, it's almost like if you were doing art and you wanted just sort of like this hint of something that's sort of in the background or sort of something like that. This works just fine for that, you know, with the wet paint. It's sort of subtle.
And you put that's gesso that you pulled it? No.
No, that's
Mod
gloss
Podge,
gel
the
or
gel?
Mod Podge. So I use gloss gel because that's what I use when I'm doing my artwork. So that's what I mean, I have Mod Podge too, but usually I use gloss gel because that's sort of what I use. But, you know, I mean, that's just a nice sort of background too, like kind of pretty. And then as it dries, I can go back in here with dry brush and highlight some of this, right? Because it could be just that little texture grabbing whatever I have will make it kind of shine. Yeah, I don't mind that. It's a little bit muddy, but you know, I can still add more color to it later or now. I found it interesting when I was doing this demo for the Calgary Sketch Club here. And I was showing them how to do mixed media. And I found it was an interesting thing to be, I'm working, like looking down at my work, but then being able to look at the camera and see how it looks on the camera as I'm painting it. It's really cool. It's like,
It's like being there.
it is kind of like being there, but it's kind of like, you know, as an artist, sometimes what you'll do is you need to stand back from your artwork, or sometimes you take a picture of it or look at it in a mirror to see a different perspective. And that's what, you know, kind of doing it when I was doing it and seeing it sort of develop as I was teaching them. It was interesting to see how it worked out. Because it allowed me to sort of check see what I was doing in a different way. I'm losing my snowflake. Okay, I'll try something else. And that's part of what art is taking something, making it into a disaster, and then figuring out a way to bring it back or make it into something else.
Okay, so I have to confess I wasn't paying complete attention because I got busy painting my background.
Okay.
So once our background is done and sort of dry, we put the Mod Podge down first, or the gel,
Yeah.
and then the snowflake, and then gel on top.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And hopefully if your piece is drier than mine, then it won't bleed onto it.
It's not very dry.
I know. I guess that's what happens when we're doing this all live, and it's like, I just want to see what it looks like. Yeah, I got a bit of a disaster happening here, but you can hardly even see the snowflake anymore.
I probably should have gessoed my board in advance. I actually have a
There's no
canvas
gesso? Oh,
rather than board, so
is it white?
it's a white canvas. But I want the texture, so I have to gesso it.
Oh, Well, usually you don't have to if it's already gessoed. If
Well,
white.
it's not gessoed, it's just a white canvas.
Well, canvas isn't white, so it's got to be some sort of gesso on it.
Oh,
Like the ones you buy at Michael's, that's gesso. Like this is a gessoed canvas, even though it's just looks like
Smooth.
white canvas. That's gessoed. Okay, because canvas is actually brown, right? Or taupe.
yes, a titanium acrylic gesso primed. There we go.
There you go.
Oh,
I'm trying something here. Making a mess.
what I need is a table saw for boards. But I figured I had these canvases, I might as well fiddle with these and see what they do.
Yeah, that's
They're
what I
larger.
sort of think.
Larger than you wanted us to use, but thought, what the heck?
You know what? You can cut them. Those canvases can be cut.
Well, this is a framed die, so.
Oh yeah, you can't cut those.
Not a board, it's a, yeah, just what I had.
Okay, so I just sprayed a whole bunch of water out on there to reveal my snowflake again because I was not happy with how it was diminishing or disappearing into the nowhere land. So I'm gonna go grab another color because I'm tired of the purple. It's not working for me. So just excuse me while I walk over here. All right. If you liked the look of my yellow paint, you should see the white. It's lovely in there. All sorts of things going on. Okay. I'm just gonna see what happens if I do this. I'm gonna end up covering this whole thing again. Just can't leave well enough alone. It's too wet.
Oh, I got another one that I like.
Oh, did ya?
It's very roundy. Now the paper is kind of a rusty brown, so it's not as white as the other one was.
Yeah. But that's kind of nice, even like, you know, when I put that on the white paper, it was kind of nice to have that pink underneath.
Yeah. Ah, cool. I like it better when I do it with the lighter paper. There's a little glow that you get from it, but not a big glow.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this guy because I'm not happy with him. So you can just go over there. I'm gonna let him dry and then I'm gonna do something else. I'll have to post what I actually end up doing with it because I think I've just made a mess. But that's okay. That's what we do here, right? We just experiment and you can see that not everything I do works and that's just the way it goes. What other ones do I have? I have this really goofy guy. Well, if worst comes to worst, you just make another background. So it is 8 o'clock. We can keep going. I don't mind. I'm having fun. Next week, just because it's Christmas, I know people might be busy and stuff like that. So I didn't want to do anything really Super interesting. No, I didn't want to do anything that I had to do a lot of preparation for. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about next week is sketchbooks. It's something that I'm really, I love doing sketchbooks. And when I'm teaching my classes, one of the first things that the kids have to do in my class is they have to make their own sketchbooks. And so I do a little bit of sort of bookbinding with them, and they make a little sketchbook that we use all through the class, which is great because then they have a little record of everything that they've done. And I mean, they can do their own thing in them too. So I guess what I wanted to show you next week was, if you're interested in doing sketchbooks and stuff like that, I'm going to show you sort of the anatomy of my sketchbooks. We'll go have a look at some of my sketchbooks that I have, and sort of maybe even do a little sketchbook exercise I have sort of planned for you guys that are very simple and just kind of a nice exercise to do with a sketchbook. So, and I'll show you, sort of my philosophy around sketchbooks, and I have a whole bunch here picked out that I thought we could look at. I have I'm in the process of trying to purge my studio. So I actually destroyed 4 or 5 of my sketchbooks. But they were sketchbooks from back when I was doing interior design. So they're very rudimentary and they're not lovely. I went through and pulled out anything that I wanted to keep and got rid of the rest. And so, but the sketchbooks that I do now are super important to me because they have a lot of my sort of history and a lot of things that I try, like these snowflakes that we did tonight. I've got one. Well, I put it in my sketchbook and then I covered it. Anyway, so there's just lots of things, and there's lots of exercises that we can do in this sort of format where we're working in our sketchbooks, and it's a great place to collect ideas. So that's probably what I'm going to work on next week. So you're welcome to tune in and we'll do that. You're also welcome to let other people know about what we're doing here, and in case people are interested in giving it a try, because it's all about fun and learning from each other, right? Because that's a great thing to do, is share. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying them.
Yeah.
I will be gone for a couple of weeks, so I'm going to visit my granddaughter that I haven't seen in 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
That's really cool.
that's my priority for the next couple of weeks.
That's okay.
And I'm hoping to do tons of fun art with her,
Yeah.
because she loves art too.
Yeah.
Well, you might have to zoom in with her next week.
Yeah. Maybe zoom in with her.
Yes, that might be fun.
Yeah. You guys. Well, although I am just doing sketchbooks, but it might inspire her to do a sketchbook and have a record of of what kind of art she wants to do and things like that. It's a great place to try. If you don't have a sketchbook and you're looking for one, Michael's does have a half decent sketchbook, and it's only like $10. So it's actually a hardcover sketchbook. Do I have one here? Yeah, I do. This is one of the Michael's sketchbooks. They come in different colors too. As you can see, mine's well used, but it's actually, for $10, it takes the paint pretty well. So I'll show you how I decide what is a good sketchbook and what isn't. And anyway, that's the Michael's one for $10. So it's a great deal. It's a good deal. I'd buy those all the time.
I was hoping that Santa would put one of those lovely shaped punches from the scrapbooking area in my stocking. He's gonna have to give me a rain check on that, because the shelves were empty at 2 Michaels. There were two punches that were circles, but they were really large ones.
Yeah.
And I wanted, 1.5 inches or something.
Yeah.
I will be looking.
Yeah, you know, we have actually, Michael's has had lots of problems getting supplies in and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's a slim pickings. In fact, we didn't even have a lot of our Christmas stuff. And then I think we just got our last Christmas truck yesterday. And yeah, not as much Christmas stuff as we usually get. So, but that's the way it goes. Well, now I want to do that one that you did. So I'm going to try that one, that first one you said, right? Hmm. All right.
I just can't sit on your stool.
I'm sorry. I know you have to bring him more. Poor Bill's not comfortable. He's sitting on my little stool that I usually use for my art. But
So, no technical issues for 10 minutes, please.
yeah, so no technical. He's moved to a more comfy seat. It's like a little doctor's stool with wheels on the bottom.
Mm.
Look at us all just so busy cutting and creating. Oops. Got my paper. Hey, Brenda, tomorrow I'm going to go buy a turkey.
That's good, because apparently there's going to be shortages of those too.
Oh boy. Yeah.
You'll be fine. You still got time.
Okay. We were talking about it.
Tomorrow night.
We were talking about that the other day. If we're going to buy turkeys or not. So I guess I'll go buy a turkey.
Went and got mine a couple of weeks ago because I started looking and there weren't very many out. The day that I actually found what I wanted, there were quite a few, but so
Oh,
I see what you mean. There would be like
Yeah.
5 in a bin and thought, oh, crikey.
yeah.
I went to that superstore today. They had quite a few out.
Oh, did they? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think Leslie, yours was nicer than mine.
Ah, yours is similar.
It is similar. You have a little extra bits in yours, but I like it.
Yeah, I just the little devil horns and
Yeah, you did the devil horns.
but otherwise it's very similar.
I guess so. Yeah, pretty similar.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Just in the little nuance.
Yeah. I could do this all day, and then I have all these, these silly snowflakes that now I got to figure out something to do with them all.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like they're so neat.
Put them in the
Sketchbook.
window beside your door.
Oh,
Sketchbook exercise for next week.
oh, I
Put on
have,
your-
yeah. Look at this guy's an odd shape too. I like him. Look at that. It's so neat. Like how did that? I don't know how I did that. I might just have to keep folding. I love this one. Look at this one, eh? God, how did I do that?
Mm, yeah, that's nice.
That's really cool.
Can't tell which one it is. I don't even think it's on my list. Is somebody singing?
Colin is doing We Just Dance in the other room.
Oh.
And he's doing Britney Spears Hit Me Baby One More Time. So yeah.
Way to go, Colin.
Normally I would be there, but I'm here.
You're here doing this instead.
Yeah, ran around too much today. I'm just pooped.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be sitting and fiddling with my hands.
Yeah. Me too. Did a lot of work today.
And Kelly couldn't make it. She's getting ready to go on a road trip tomorrow to deliver Christmas parcels to great nieces and nephews.
Wow.
So she'll be back before long. And then I have another friend, Kirsten, I want to try to get to join us. She's just a little swamped right now, so.
Well, it's a busy time of year.
It is. All right, before I start singing again, I'm gonna mute.
I'm putting another snowflake in my sketchbook because I can.
Well, I might have to go soon because I'm expecting a call, but I'm
Right.
gonna stay and play as long as I can, but I just want to show you what I have so far.
Yeah, I want to see. Oh, that looks nice. Can you
I
guys
went
see?
around that one with just a white liner
Yeah.
around the edges of it. Because
Yeah.
the other ones I find like they just fade into
Disappeared,
the
right?
background. Yeah.
Are you
so-
using the deli paper?
Yeah, the deli paper.
Yeah,
It
does.
just as soon as it gets wet, it just disappears.
Yeah, it starts to, it does that. And I think part of me is that's part of why I like it, is because it becomes so subtle, right? It's just a touch. It's like a background sort of little bit. And that's why I went back through my other ones and sort of used a little bit of silver to highlight them a bit.
Oh yeah.
But I like
When you put the white, when you put the white on, you did it once it was already affixed to the board,
Yes.
or did you do your little outlines in white first? Oh, after it was on the board.
No, I glued it down first, and then I didn't like the way it just vanished. So I'm just going around all the edges with a liner brush,
Yeah.
white liner brush.
So the other thing you can do is when it's dry, mine's not quite dry, is you can do sort of like a dry brush thing where you, I don't want to show you on this one because it's still wet, but if you have a brush and you don't have a lot of paint on it, you can sort of kiss the surface by just adding a little bit of white. I'm going to see if I have a brush that would do it for me in my plethora of brushes. Let's try this one.
Got another snowflake. This is, just sitting and cutting out
Oh, nice.
snowflakes. I do this for hours.
Yeah.
I really have found that it was Elizabeth, it was your technique, right? For the folding. That's
You like
really
it better?
good. I do like it. And what I did was I took my snowflake templates and along the one edge, you can barely see it, I've added little tick marks. So once I folded it once, I marked it.
Oh,
And so now I
clever.
put down my edge and hit my marks, makes for faster, cleaner folding.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. It's all finding, the way it works
What
for you,
works.
right?
I'm going to try to hold this. Well, maybe not hold it up. Maybe if I don't know what I can do.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on that little snowflake and see if I can post what I do with it, because
Let me flip. What?
It's telling me.
Oh, there we go. Oh, if I don't cover the thing. So there are the 3 that I've
Oh,
Made.
awesome.
Oh, look at them. Yeah, they're very nice.
They are very nice.
really, I worked pretty much with the templates and just picked things that looked that weren't going to be too nightmarish to cut out. And I added very, very little to them.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't even know which one I just did. But I picked one on here. Oh yeah, that one.
Maybe I should number them and then
Yeah,
we would know.
and then I did.
Well, I'm interested to try some different folds too, to see if I can get back to that goofy 5-sided one that I did. Must have done something weird.
So when I did this guy, I worked off of the 20th on this. So they're 5 in a row, 4th row down on the end.
Yeah.
Except where we have the bubble that sticks out here.
Yeah.
I made it connect. I pulled it all the way over and connected it. So, you know, you do that sort of simple thing.
Yeah. Now I
And
did that
then-
earlier. Where did I put that one?
And the other one was
my
number
Rex.
14. Very similar to that. Yeah.
Nice. I think that one that you did that you connected was this one that I destroyed. It is not destroyed. I will fix it. I will do something with it.
I like that one off to your, well, I don't know if it's, it must be your left. Yes.
Yeah, this one turned out really well.
Very pointy. I like that one.
That one is, which one is that one?
Oh, number 7, maybe.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
this one. Oh,
Yeah,
this one. Sort
Yep.
of.
yeah.
Okay, that's a good idea. I'm going to number them so that we know. That's number 7.
Easy to do.
Erin, you were saying that you do origami.
Yeah.
Have you ever done the 5-pointed star fold?
With several pieces of paper.
No, just with one. Hang on, I have one just over here. Let me grab it.
Probably I have.
Like this.
Oh,
Yes.
So,
So that's,
you know,
that's
when
5
you-
pieces of paper though, right?
no, this is one piece of paper.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. When you do this, it gives you a way to cut. You start with a pentagram.
Yes.
And I wonder if you started with that pentagram and then folded that up, if that would give you a 5-pointed snowflake.
Very, very possibly. I did actually, when I was first doing this, I was looking back through my origami books and looking at the folds for doing snowflakes and stuff like that. And I decided it was too complicated for what I was, because I was teaching kids too, right?
Yeah.
And so that was a bit too complicated for them. But yeah, it's just like, it'd be interesting to try different origami folds and then cutting and seeing what happens, right?
Yeah, it would be.
So yeah, I folded origami for like 30 years with the Foothills Origami Guild.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I did my first origami this week. This was one of them. My little star.
Nice. That's a complicated one to start off with.
This is the easiest one. Well, No, there was one little star that was easier that you make with a ribbon,
Mhm.
but.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, I did a bunch of different ones, and I've got them all wrapped now because I made little ornaments for, like my
Yeah.
daughter-in-law's mother, and
Yeah.
you
The
know.
first thing I ever learned to fold as origami is this.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
this was the first fold I learned, was this six-sided box by Tomoko Fuse.
Wow.
She's my favorite origami artist. So yeah, I've got little gems in here. This
Wow.
is origami.
That's awesome.
This is origami.
Oh, let me see that one again. Hold it more to the center because it's going behind yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, okay. No, I made one very similar to that
Yeah.
to this week.
Yeah, I got lots of origami around my house.
Yeah.
So much I don't even know what to do with it all. So, but you just play, right?
Yeah, it was nice to do something, different.
Yeah.
That's what I like about this class too, is it's not, the pressure of a customer who wants their portrait perfect, and you can just play a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you just never know, the things that we're gonna, cover and talk about and stuff like that. You can apply them to so many different things. So I think that's what I like about this, is that, doesn't matter what you're doing, you can try it in different places and stuff. So
Mhm.
anyway,
And you can put some of these in your Christmas cards if you have a lot.
yeah, I haven't, I guess I've got a few, but I haven't done as many as I normally do. I'm a little behind the times this year. So I'm going to fold this. I'm going to cut this one because I did a weird fold, because I want to see what it looks like. And then I'm going to sign off from you guys, because poor Bill's feels like he has to stay down here the whole time we're doing this. So
Sorry, Bill.
I need to let him go. He's like, come on, how long are you guys going to do art and crafts? Sometimes when I'm working at Michael's and I'm doing special projects for people and stuff like that, sometimes I do Karen projects and stuff. The guys there, and I say, yeah, today's arts and crafts at Michael's. Today I was framing a pair of ballet point shoes, and that was kind of like an arts and crafts project.
And the front of a jersey the other day.
I did a jersey. Oh yeah, I did a jersey backwards the other day.
Whoops.
Because apparently they want to look at the back of the jersey, but I like the front of the jersey better. So
That's where the emblem is.
I got it all sewn up, and I'm like, and the guys are like, Karen. I'm like, crap. Take it apart and do it again. Oh, well. Okay. I don't know what I did with this fold, because I just kept folding and folding until I had something really tiny. Okay. Let's see what I got. It's going to be weird, and it's going to be uneven. Is it?
And while she's unfolding, just a reminder, if you want to send pictures or message Karen what you created that we can post on the Facebook page, that would be awesome.
Did you ever get my cards? Did they actually come through, that one photo?
It did. I put it up on the Facebook page today, actually.
Oh, okay.
Finally. Thank
It
you.
was being stubborn loading. It was I think I have to send it to you by messenger rather than just load it to your page, because you're the administrator of the page.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
So I remember to go back and look into Karen's stuff all the time.
Yep. I don't know what I did, but look what I got. I got like many pointed.
Wow. Cool.
So, you know, Elizabeth, I think what I did is I started folding your way, and then I just kept folding and folding, and ended up with
that
this.
was cool.
So, looks like a doily.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. And I thought, no, I won't say that because maybe that'll hurt her feelings.
Nope. Nope. Can't hurt my feelings. It's okay. So there I go. I'm going to take my doily. I'm going to take my ugly painting. I'm going to work on this week and see if I can create something nice out of it after it dries a bit. And then I'll post it what I finished up with. Okay.
All
So
right.
anyway, have fun with your snowflakes. And if you want to join in next week for the sketchbooks, that'll be fun too. And I do have a sketchbook exercise for you. So if you don't have a sketchbook, you can just do it on a piece of paper, or you have a bit of time to get a sketchbook. So anyway, thanks for having fun with me. And if I don't see you next week, have a very Merry Christmas. And I'll see you maybe the week after, before the New Year, right?
Yeah. 28.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Will you post some sort of supply list so that we make sure that we're ready if we're not there next week?
Yes.
I'm trying to put it on the website within 2 days after today.
Yeah.
So by Thursday, it should have all the information up there.
For the next week. Okay.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
So that gives people time to get any supplies they need if they need to go to the store, order them in, or all of the above.
Yeah, that's right. And again, we are putting links to some of the stuff on
Via Amazon.
Amazon and stuff like that. So if you do go into Amazon and buy stuff, that does give us a little bit of a kickback. It's not very much, but it's enough that will help, so I can buy more supplies and things like that. So anyway, you guys have a great night, and I will see you next week, maybe.
Thank you very
Sounds
much.
good.
All right.
Thank
See you guys
you.
later.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.